Everyone knows about the theft of these elections every year. And people, when they steal the election from the candidates, they're stealing your most precious thing you have, your vote. Your vote to elect the people who are going to lead you and your children and grandchildren in future generations. They steal from you. They don't steal just from the candidate. They steal from all of us. And having said that, the election's coming up, as you guys know. But I called Holbrook and talked to him and Brendan Kelly, the state's attorney. You know about all these elections. I asked that we have a meeting about where the absentee ballots go from start to finish, when they're sent out, when they're brought back, who secures them before they're counted, who counts them, where they go afterward, what's the check and balance. And I said, I want to have a meeting. So he said I could have a meeting with me, him, Brendan Kelly, Carl Officer, Roger Cook. I said, no, I want the meeting in the 5th floor in the county board office, county board room, where people can come and you guys can be transparent. Tom, Mr. Haney Holbrook, the St. Clair County clerk, the head of the election department, denied that. He said, I don't want people there. They want to have it in the privacy of the state's attorney's office in their conference room, and you can't get through there, so people couldn't come in if they wanted to. It's amazing. Now, if there was an award they were getting, they wouldn't mind being videotaped. They want to be on television. But I ask all of you in St. Clair County, why would Tom, Mr. Haney Holbrook, that's rotten, no-count, ass-white bastard, $150,000, people, we're giving him and his wife in state pensions because he was a state representative. Now he's the county clerk. See, we recycle these bastards. But he told me he don't want people. He don't want you people to know what's going on. I want to know about the absentee ballots. I want to know about early voting. This son of a bitch refused to let you people come to the county board room on the 5th floor, refused to let me videotape it so down the road they can't say, no, we didn't say that. Again, they'll be in front of the cameras every day. They'll run to get in front of the cameras, but that's totally disrespectful to everybody in St. Clair County. But we're going to make it happen, people. They're going to be transparent. We're not going to let them steal the election from not just us, the candidates, but from you, the good people of St. Clair County. These son of a bitches, they're telling us they don't want the public there when they explain about absentee ballots, about how secure they are. They don't want you, the public, their bosses, there when they talk about early voting. And we can't videotape it? They videotape county board meetings. They videotape everything else. This is not a court hearing. You ought to want to be transparent. Tom, Mr. Haney Holbrook, the St. Clair County clerk. You're up there kissing Sprague and Kern and everybody's ass. You big roly-poly son of a bitch. It's going to be transparent, Holbrook, because we're going to demand, as the people of St. Clair County, transparency. We're going to demand that you have that meeting in the county board office. We're going to demand that you who work for us, we, your bosses, are going to demand that you let everyone in St. Clair County that wants to know about absentee ballot and early voting, we're going to demand and we're going to get our way, Holbrook. I guarantee you, one way or the other. You're not going to hide what you do up there at your office. You're not going to hide about the absentee ballots and the early voting. And think about it, people. Why would he not want to be transparent? The only reason is the nefarious activities that are going to go on election night. Mayor Carl Officer just come in. Mayor Officer, what the hell do you think about this situation?
It's not nefarious. It's just plain out stealing. There has not been a plan in any election conducted by this culture of corruption that they have not factored in for them to steal votes.
Enough to win the election.
Enough to win the election. I'm speaking from firsthand experience. In 40 years of politics in East St. Louis and St. Clair County, I've seen how they do it. They've changed a little bit over the years because the law changed and allowed them to have early voting. Early voting is a sure mechanism for politicians in Illinois to start getting as many votes as they need before Election Day comes around. And they have pretty much sat down and counted them. I could tell you some stories. I'm not going to bore you with what I saw in Chicago and Cook County. And It mirrored a lot of stuff that was going on in East St. Louis in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. They just upped that game in the 70s and the 80s. But I do think that the people of St. Clair County, this is the one positive side. Over a year and a half ago, we started the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. Over a year and a half ago, it was just an idea. Now it has grown into a movement, a patriotic movement, where I don't believe the culture of corruption. I don't believe the Democratic leadership, the Republican leadership. I don't believe any of these people combined or otherwise can stop the will of the people of St. Clair County. They feel right now that they've got some fighters. They feel they're empowered. They feel free. The only way they can't steal this election is that enough people in St. Clair County vote in overwhelming numbers that these knuckleheads can't even fathom how many votes they need to steal. They won't have enough time to sit in the back room and steal enough votes. I've seen them vote in East St. Louis. I got 28,000 people buried in my cemetery in Millstadt. I would be venturing to say, Bob, at least 20,000 of those people, they've already got registered to vote in this election.
You know, Mayor, I want to ask you real quick, why the hell you think that Holbrook would not want the people to understand? Why would he not want to be transparent? The only reason is that they're ready to steal the vote. They don't want us to know the procedure because they're so afraid this election that the people are going to come out, Democrats, Republican, men, women, black and white. They're going to come out and destroy this culture of Democratic corruption in St. Clair County.
I think if Tom was wise, Tom would find he and the state's attorney both would find a third party that would be committed in this situation and allow maybe the media.
Everybody.
Let anybody who wants to know the process, what happens with an absentee ballot from the moment it's requested to the moment it comes back in and how it gets counted. And I think that, I urge Tom, the state's attorney to at least investigate that and do that. It would mean a lot toward your own credibility to let the people who pay your salaries, who are the ones who are in charge of the election, let them know how you plan on counting their vote.
Yeah.